The main feature of this is the Damascus steel that you get in the blade. In this video, I'm going to be talking all about the Damascus Wing Chun Butterfly Knives we have for sale at Enso Martial Arts. I'm going to be talking a bit about how this type of weapon came into existence, tell you all the features of these knives, and at the end, I'm going to put together a short montage of people training with butterfly knives. Hi, my name's Doug Swift. I've been doing martial arts for the past 34 years and I've been the owner of Enso Martial Arts for the past 17 years. If you're liking this video, click the little icon, subscribe to this channel and get all the latest videos and updates from Enso Martial Arts. So let's get into this video and learn all about the Damascus Wing Chun knives that we have for sale at Enso. So first things first, let's just clear up any misconceptions. So I will be calling these butterfly knives. Now, obviously, looking at them, they are not to be confused with the balisong, like little flick knife on the two little sticks that you can flick out. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Wing Chun butterfly knives. Now, people do call these butterfly swords. That is technically the right name in a way. They are short sword, but like in China, a single edge blade is the same word. So a knife is the same word for a single-edged sword. So sword, knife are pretty much interchangeable, both correct. But to be honest, most of the people that we meet in the shop that talk about these will call them butterfly knives. That does seem to be the standard name for these. So that's what I'll be talking about. But yes, butterfly swords is also correct. Wing Chun knives, butterfly knives, Wing Chun swords, whatever, that's what we are going to call them, and this is what we are talking about. Now, just a little bit of background on butterfly knives. Now, they are almost exclusively a Wing Chun weapon these days. Now, I have heard that they do exist in the north and in other systems of Kung Fu in China, but you know, really most days it will be Wing Chun practitioners using these. It's very rare that you hear anyone else talking about them. Now, I know some of the other styles, like styles from Guangdong province, will probably use these at some point. They were like merged in, or you know, cross-referenced in terms of training and the mixing of styles. But these days, if you wanted to learn butterfly knives, you are almost exclusively going to be doing it in a Wing Chun class. That is, 99% of people in the UK that train with these are doing Wing Chun. But like I said, you do see them pop up here and there historically in other systems, but it's very rare that you see it. Now, in terms of history, it's thought that these were kind of like a militia weapon, so people would use these in like scuffles, regional scuffles and whatnot, but I don't think it's ever really been part of the military. The general feeling is that these could have been chef's knives, so actually chef's knives for just, yeah, chopping up food and whatnot, and then they've been merged into martial arts. Although it's not necessarily true, it might have always been that they were just a martial arts weapon, so a big heavy knife, nice and short, you know, just for like chopping people. That's definitely, yeah, it seems to be a bit vague in exactly where they may or may not have evolved from, but chef's knives seems to be the most popular choice. Now, butterfly knives always come as a pair. I don't think I've ever seen anything where people are using just one at a time. It's always a pair, and they nearly always will sit together. So they're not necessarily the most comfortable. You get a kind of flat edge on the inside of the knives, but they do just stick together. So you can hold the two as a pair if you wanted, but yeah, nearly always I've seen these being used as a pair for training. Now, in Wing Chun training, you do tend to see, like, most of the people that are moving on to weapons moving on to butterfly knives. Now, it's quite nice just training with like swords and knives, you know, it's kind of like the sexy part of weapons training. But also the other weapon that the Wing Chun guys tend to have, which is the staffs that I will show you later, are so big, they're really hard to find. So in terms of supply for getting these against the staffs, you do tend to see these much more often. So these, you know, arguably are the first weapon that you'll do in Wing Chun. But like I said, the sticks are the other weapon, main weapon of choice. but they're much harder to source. So let's have a look at the features of this Damascus Wing Chun Butterfly Knife. Now obviously the main feature of this is the Damascus steel that you get in the blade. Now this is a really beveled blade that's been shaped into a really good shape for a butterfly sword, and really like beveled edge, so it's much thicker at the back than it is at the front, and you've got these two, like they call them blood grooves, down the edge of the blade. Now this Damascus patterning is actually quite rare for butterfly swords, and it's a really nice feature, and I feel very proud to have these at Enso Martial Arts because it is such a beautiful patterning on the blade. Now Damascus steel isn't necessarily something that you would have seen in China like per se. It would be for the really rich, the elite, like the top rich people would have swords made in this way. Damascus steel, it comes from around Persia, and it's a certain way of folding the metal and folding the blades. Now the Japanese also did this, and they're very like well known, very famous for making folded steel katanas. So you know, it's become much more popular on other blades in more recent times, but on these particular Wing Chun knives it's a really beautiful patterning that runs all the way through these butterfly knives. Now if you got yourself a pair of these, obviously they are made for purpose. They are very like really good weight, perfect for Wing Chun training, but this extra Damascus steel feature really puts these above a lot of Wing Chun knives out there on the market. Now they do also have these brass handles, which again I just think even on their own are very beautiful handles, and it's got this wood inlaid that's seamless. You can't even feel like any of the gaps around it, so it's fitted really well, and obviously being hammered in with the brass pegs that you can see, and it's got this brass loop as all good Wing Chun butterfly knives should have. This enables people to be able to spin it so you can have it both ways, which is a feature of the butterfly swords, which you do need, and they should be ideally about the length of your elbow, which these ones are. Another feature and something that comes with the knives is this leather case. Now you might think it's not that important having the case, but it definitely is a really important thing, especially if you're carrying them around. Like just carrying these in your bag is not going to look good if you get stopped and asked about them, but having them tied up in a leather case, you know, all really nicely stitched and really nicely molded with a little loop on the back is a really good safe way to carry these around. Another thing that really is worth noting is care of these swords. Now these are proper Damascus steel, so it's not stainless, it's not chromed, you know, anything like that. It is proper Damascus steel, so it will rust in the air. So just existing in the air, there's enough moisture in the air to slowly, very slowly rust these, so you will need to look after them. Now same as any like Japanese katana, it's exactly the same. Just a little sprinkling of oil when you're not training with them is really important, so we do recommend just getting a little bit of oil. Now sword oil, mineral oil is definitely the best thing. It's very light, very easy to wipe off. It's not sticky, say like olive oil or vegetable oil would be. Well, those days would do, but you just struggle getting it off all the time. Now we definitely recommend just having a very fine coating of that on the knives when you're not training with them. When you go to train, just give them a quick wipe, train away, and then just give a little spray all over them just to stop them from rusting. This is definitely a really easy way to look after your swords, and then you can own these for years and years without any problems. So just having a look at the dimensions of these butterfly knives. So I'll put all the dimensions on the website so you know exactly what you're buying, but just a few ones here. They're 18 inches long or just under 46 centimeters. Now in terms of the blade width, it comes in around 3 inches or 8 centimeters. And just having a look at the weight, these weigh in at just over 1 kilogram each, so 2 kilograms for the pair, which is a really good training weight for Wing Chun. So at Enso Martial Arts, we do our best to stock all the things that you need for Wing Chun training. Now, as you know, you guys don't have a lot of weapons, but we do our best to stock them. So as well as the Damascus Wing Chun butterfly knives, we also have the 8-foot Wing Chun poles. Now, traditionally they might have been 9 foot or even 12 foot, but 8 foot is the longest that anyone will ship them. So this is the longest that we can get. But to be honest, it's still a pretty good length. We do 4 different diameters of Wing Chun Chi Sao rings, 10, 12, 14 and 16. Now, not a lot of people wear traditional outfits for Wing Chun. Most people now just like t-shirts and jogging bottoms, but shoes are really important. Now, in the past, a lot of people have really gone for like the Kung Fu slipper, like the rubber sole slipper are really good, but in much more recent times the Feiyus have been really popular. So if you are a Wing Chun practitioner and you're never sure about shoes, I definitely recommend the Feiyus. They're really good for Wing Chun training. So as promised at the beginning of this video, here's a short montage of people training with butterfly knives. Thanks very much for watching. I hope it was useful. I hope you learned loads about the Damascus Wing Chun Butterfly Knives we have for sale at Enso. If you like this video, click the little icon, subscribe to this channel and get all the latest updates and videos from Enso Martial Arts. Thanks very much and I'll see you soon. Cheers!